Perspective. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Much love and respect. I appreciate you. If you can do me the favor and share the page, if you can just like the page, so the algorithm, we can get in that rhythm. All right, my name is David Adams, the host of D.A.P, The Perspective. Today we have a special guest, goes by the name of Bill O'Day. Say hi to the people, Bill O'Day.
Hey, everybody.
All right.
Good afternoon.
All right, so just so you know, I extended my hand, I extended a welcome to all candidates. And I put that out probably a few days ago, maybe a week or so. And even I actually did it longer than that. I was telling people about it, what I was going to do. The residents of Jersey City said that would be a great thing to do. And when I put that out, I even put it on Facebook. And the first person that actually accepted was Bill O'Day. So we'd like to give him a round of applause and thanking him for coming up to accept to be on this platform. We appreciate that from Bill O'Day. So Bill O'Day is running for the mayor. All right. So first of all, before we get started, I want you to do me the favor and like the page. Please like the page. That's important. That's important. Do me that favor. If you can like the page, it's very much appreciated. All right. And I don't want to be talking and you don't hear me. Give me a 1 in the chat to make sure that I am being heard, that the sound is really good. So we don't want to get started until we get that off the ground. OK, thank you so much. So please do that now if you can. Thank you. And we will get started with this exclusive interview with Bill O'Day, running for the mayor's spot in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please do me a favor and let me know if you can hear me in the comments board. I need a 1 in the chat. Peace and blessings. Okay, Oliver. Oliver said, O'Day for mayor. All right. Can I get a 1 in the chat if you can hear me very clear? I don't need the lag and all that stuff, and I don't need to not be heard perfectly. Thank you for the 1. I appreciate that. Thank you for the 1. Much love. Oliver, do me the favor. Please share and like the page. I appreciate that. Much love. And you didn't let me know, Oliver, when you want to do it. Let me know exactly. I didn't get a confirmation from you as of yet, but please share the page. Wendell, peace and blessings. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Wendell, do me the favor and share the page. Like the page. We need to get the few likes going on before we get started. We don't want to have this man waiting because he's a busy man. He's doing a lot of running around. He just told me he came from a parade yesterday. What happened yesterday? What was going on yesterday, Bill?
Yesterday's a St. Patrick's Day parade. It comes down Newark Avenue. It ends at City Hall. Has a good crowd, and every year I'd love to see how many times I can pass the reviewing stand. So yesterday I broke my own record at 20. Yeah, it used to be 13.
Nice.
Congressman Menendez and I used to have a competition, but he kind of crapped out yesterday after 3.
Oh, so you beat him?
Yeah, I didn't beat him. I beat him and I like the Chiefs a lot, but I beat him as bad as the Eagles beat the Chiefs.
Ooh,
that was bad. Yeah, he needs a rematch. Okay. Usually it's close, but not yesterday.
No doubt. All right. Do me a favor, keep sharing the page, like the page. So we want to make sure that we get this information out to the people that's going to be voting. Once again, you let your candidates know that D.A.P, David Adams, is going to be using this platform every now and then for them to come up to give their spill, give their vision, give their plan of what they're trying to do right here on D.A.P. I'm offering my hand. I'm not going on this side or that side. I'm giving everybody the opportunity to come up. So whoever you know that you are feeling as far as the candidacy for any position that is, have them contact me, okay? Do that for me. Much love and respect. Like the page, share the page. All right. Okay, so Oliver, you need the email. Okay, the email is supremeflix, Flix, @gmail.com. Supremeflix, F as in Frank, Lix, @gmail.com. Thank you. And we're going to get started with this interview, exclusive interview that is, with Bill O'Day. Let me check the likes first. because we're not doing anything if we don't. Oh, we got 4 likes. Okay, let's get 2 more. Let's get started. All right. Thank you so much, because we need people to see this. We need people to hear this as much as possible, and I need your help with this. Thank you so much. All right. So I'm waiting for 2 more likes. Let's go. 2 more likes. Let's go. D.A.P. D.A.P. All right. Waiting for 2 more likes. If you chime in the background, sit in the background. We got 1. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you sit in the background and you did not press the video, that means you're not here. Do me the favor, press the video so that you will be here. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we got 18 viewers. We need a few more. Let's get another like in there. Let's get another share. Thank you for the extra like. Thank you so much. Much love. Okay, let's get started. Once again, thank you for tuning in. So, first I want to ask, just so you know, later on we're going to have a question and answer where you can actually call in and ask Bill some questions, give some statements, show love, or whatever the case may be you want to do. You can do that a little later on. I'm going to have the number on the screen and you can call in for that. Until we finish this little interview, that's when you're going to be, I'll let you know when that segment is going to happen, okay? Now, the first question I want to ask Mr. Bill O'Day, what inspired you to run for mayor, and what makes you, Bill O'Day, the best candidate for the job? Why you? What inspired you?
So what inspired me is my career in public service. I was a councilman for 8 years. I've been a county commissioner for 27 years. And my career has been about helping people, from the little person to the big problems. I've always been about wanting to help people. I'm about solving problems. And, my life experiences also inspired me. I've had triumph, I've had tragedy. I lost a nephew to drugs and street crime. He got murdered back in 1993. And, I lost my mom in a fire. So I have a great respect, and that was in 1989. So I have great love and respect for public safety, especially with our fire department, because I saw how they risked their lives trying to save my mom. So life experiences plus public servants about solving problems. What makes me the best candidate? I don't think it's close when it comes to solving problems. I'll match my experience of solving problems to any of the other candidates who are out there today.
Wow. Okay. Great answer. Oh, okay.
But it's good to talk about what you're going to do. But when I talk about what I'm going to do, I tie in things I've done already in my career. And I think that that's important, because anybody can promise anything. They can promise to lower your taxes, build 1 million units of housing for affordable housing. And meanwhile, nobody makes you show how they're going to do it.
Wow. All right. Thank you for that answer, man. Very much appreciated. What is your long-term vision for Jersey City over the next 4 years?
My long-term vision is to make sure that every part of the city is treated equally. There are parts of the city where the streets are always clean. When there's a pothole, it gets filled in a day. And there's parts of the city where potholes exist for months and months and there's little or no responsiveness. There's a park just down the block on Old Bergen that looks like a dilapidated lot because it's been neglected for years. There's other parks like that. Yet in other parts of the city, there are magnificent parks that they would never, ever think of not properly maintaining. So in my world, all parts of the city need to be treated equally, and that's the most important part, is making sure that quality of life, but also services are delivered to everyone equally.
Nice. That's what's up. Great answer. As far as housing and gentrification, what will you do to address the housing costs and prevent displacement of long-term residents? Because you have a lot of residents that live here that not only live here, that they own homes. You have renters that live here for a long time, and even the homeowners are getting a little frustrated because the prices are high as well, even though they like the money, but they want to keep their residence or their apartments filled. So what do you plan to do to prevent displacements long-term?
So that's one of our biggest challenges. And like right now, I'm working with tenants in a couple of places. There's a property on New York Avenue where what landlords try to do or owners try to do is they'll sell you the property at a much higher price by vacating it. So think about that. That doesn't normally make logical sense, right?
Right.
If it's vacant, I'll pay you more than if you got people paying rent in it.
Wow.
But they want to vacate it because once it's vacated, they do work on it and they jack the rent up from $1,000 or $1,100 to $2,500 or more than $2,500. So we're fighting in a couple of cases. One case where the landlord put dead fish in an apartment, trying to force people out of a building.
Wow.
So we stand up to that. We don't wait till, I'm the mayor, I'm a county commissioner, and I work, and this isn't even inside my district. But in that case, we engage law firms like the waterfront project, which the county has a contract with to help tenants to fight against landlords. Enforcing rent control law. Like there's a great rent control law in Jersey City. It just isn't enforced. Like vacancy decontrol. It's illegal in Jersey City, but it's practiced by so many landlords. We've gone to buildings and we just ask tenants, what's your rent? My rent is $950. How long have you lived here? 20 years.
Wow.
What's your rent? My rent is $1,500. How long have you lived here? 5 years. What's your rent? $1,800, $1,900. How long have you lived here? 2 years. So that means that landlord illegally raised those rents, but no one in the government is properly enforcing the registrations and then checking the rents that they're accurate and then taking action against landlords that are illegally raising rents. So enforcing existing law would be day one, bringing in people that are qualified and have the ability and courage to do that. Also, making sure that the courts are properly going after landlords that aren't keeping their buildings fixed. You let your building run down, force your tenants out, and then again, get everybody out and then fix the building up a little, double, triple your rent. So enforcement of code. Currently, we're working with a number of tenants in different buildings just to make sure that the landlords are held accountable and made to fix the building. And if they don't fix the building, I'm going to bring back rent receivership. We used to have a program when I was even a councilman, rent receivership. A building falls in disrepair, the landlord doesn't make repairs, the city goes to court, the rents get paid to the city fixes the building up, and then they give the building back to the landlord. Meanwhile, the landlord still got to pay their taxes, they still got to pay utility, and they still got to pay the insurance on the property. So they're disincentivized to let that happen. So bring back rent receivership, enforce the rent control laws, and create more affordable housing. There's one thing, I should have said this earlier. There's one thing that differentiates me from the other candidates for mayor. I've actually worked on creating hands-on creation of affordable housing here, as well as in my daytime job at the Elizabeth Development Company, which is a not-for-profit development company. We've done this veteran housing on Ocean Avenue, transitional housing for veterans. I worked with the redevelopment agency and the Hudson County Building Trades to get those units done. I'm currently working with groups like Family Promise, Black Law Enforcement Serving Community, and some others to create affordable housing projects on MLK. Worked on legislation like Aspire to help get the project at Bayfront. The first phase is done. Working with someone on North Avenue to do a high-rise with 20% affordable. So projects should be a minimum of 20% affordable. I think we need that in order to create the units. People talk about creating 1,000 units, 1,500 units. The RPA study, the regional plan, we need 3,700 units of affordable. Now, affordable means 30 to 60% area median income. Those units aren't being developed right now.
Wow. Great answer. I was about to ask you about, how are you going to increase the affordable housing options while balancing development?
Well, that's it. If you do at least 20% affordable, I can help you, and I literally work on projects helping developers apply for Aspire tax credits and federal low-income housing tax credits. Combine those together, you have to have a minimum of 20%. Bayfront's a higher percentage of that. And some other developers, I think we can get to go to higher percentages, but make sure that 20% or more are 30 to 60% AMI and UHAC. UHAC compliant means there has to be a percentage of those affordable units as 3-bedroom units. Because as you know, we've got family needs. Creating a bunch of affordable units that are 1-bedrooms and studios don't address the needs of what our constituents and residents of Jersey City are.
True. Good answer. Okay. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for that. We'll go to public safety and community policing now. What is your approach to improving public safety, maintaining trust between enforcement and the community.
So
For law enforcement, yeah.
You have to keep a balance, and there's some things that we need to do and some things we need to stop doing. So if you ever go on certain places, you see it on Bergen, I've seen it on MLK, they sit a cop car. For 8 hours, it sits there and does nothing.
Right.
That makes no sense whatsoever. I would take those vehicles and give them a small area patrol, maybe 4x2, 4 blocks by 2 blocks.
Okay.
And at least that way, they're there. If you go to that car and tell them there's a problem 2 blocks away, they'll call it in for someone else to go. And that makes no sense. They're 2 blocks away. So I would eliminate that, make them patrols. We have urban enterprise zones. So for our business districts, we should bring back more walking patrols.
Okay.
Good community policing. Get police officers connected to the community. Get them connected to your neighborhood association leaders, to the nonprofits that are in the community, to the business leadership in the community. That's how things used to be, and I think that would be a very, very effective way to improve that. Also, over-response to certain offenses. There are certain quality of life crimes, even things like car accidents, where it's a simple car accident, and I see 2 or 3 police vehicles there. What do you need 2 or 3 police vehicles for a simple car accident where there's no serious injuries?
Right.
Get 2 of those units back out on patrol as quickly as possible. Reduce the response time, because I think that's very, very important. And then pay attention to things that are quality of life, that people don't seem to, from the law enforcement perspective, give enough attention to. I think that's critical to do also. And then for things just like traffic enforcement, bring back things like the motorcycle squad. That way you have one person on a motorcycle responding to traffic issues and speeding and other violations, instead of using a patrol car where you have to have 2 officers.
Wow, great analogy, man. Great analogy. I had somebody just mention on the comment board, speaking to what we're talking about far as the landlord and stuff is concerned. She said, the landlord I had just did that. Everyone moved out. Now the rent is $2,800, $3,000. Yeah.
I feel bad, but she just proved my point.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of cases like that. First of all, they exploit people, and they tell you they're going to kick you out when they can't just kick you out. And then they offer you $5,000, $10,000. I had one building when I got them, they were offered the woman $80,000, and she still turned them down, because she looked at wherever she went, what would she be able to afford, and how soon would the $80,000 just run out when her rent was $900 a month.
Wow. Just had another person just say, why is it so hard? They raise the rent and then won't give us the security deposit back.
Well, they have to give you your security deposit back. They can't not. If anyone needs to, I'll give you my personal cell phone number. Just text me and I'll put you in touch with my staff. I only have one cell phone. Most people in my business have 2. But my cell phone number is 201-332-1187. Shoot me a text. I'll connect you to one of my staffers, but also connect you, if I can, to the Waterfront Project to see if you need legal assistance.
Wow, that's big, man. That's big. That's big for you to even do that, man. Give out your phone number right here live.
I've been doing it for 40 years. I've
never really heard no one do that, bro. That's big up. And just by you saying that, it brings me to a situation. I'm in the barbershop one day, right? And I'm cutting hair. And I happen to get on the phone with somebody talking about what I'm doing as far as bringing you up. I just got excited that you was coming up. I said, yo, we'll accept. So that's a good thing. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about you, and the guy in the chair, after I get off the phone, the young guy in the chair says to me, oh, that's Bill O'Day? I said, no, that wasn't him. I'm talking about the situation. He said, yeah, I know him. I know. He had this big smile on his face. Young guy. He about 19 years old. And let me just show you exactly what this brother said. I happened to say, listen, man, I want to record you saying this, bro. And he said, no problem, man. It's a good guy, man. Blah, blah, blah. I said, no problem. Here we go. This is the young brother that I spoke to in the chair. One of my customers, I just was sitting having a conversation with somebody on the phone, and he overheard the conversation. And what was your words in regards to the conversation I was having when I was discussing Bill O'Day coming up to the podcast?
Mr. Bill O'Day, I've known him for a while. He's on the chair the Board of Commission for my middle school, Sterling Heights Charter School. Wrote my recommendation to High Tech High School back when I was like 13 in 8th grade. Great guy. Recently, I just ran into some issues recently. I had an accident, and I called Mr. Bill O'Day, and he helped me right away, provided me with the resources to get everything straightened out. And you know, he's always been giving. Like, I haven't been able to give him anything. That's why I want to be on there and say some good words. He's always giving. You know, great guy. I have nothing bad to say about him.
No doubt. How old are you now?
19.
Wow. So, what do people say about voting for people like Bill O'Day, that's your nationality, and how do you feel about that?
I mean, you know, let's not sugarcoat. I say in the black community, a lot of the time, it's pushed that we go for people that look like us. But I believe that, you know, a man's goods has nothing to do with his skin color. If he got it, he got it. And Mr. Bill O'Day, I don't look like him, you know, and he helped me out. You know what I mean? You know, like, so,
right.
Yeah, I believe that, you know, if a man's got the goods, he should go ahead and support him. I think we should all support Mr. O'Day.
Wow, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. What's your name again?
Colin.
Thank you, Colin. Much love, respect. Appreciate you. Respect. When you hear that, how does that make you feel, man? How does that make you feel hearing that from a young brother who was 13 years old at the time when you wrote that letter, and now 19 or 18 when he had that situation with the accident?
It makes me feel really good, because that's what I'm about. Like, I believe public service is about helping people that otherwise wouldn't be able to get something done. Like, I think we're a voice for people whose voices are hard to be heard,
right.
Whether they're young people, whether they're seniors, whether they're people that are low, moderate income.
Right.
I've always believed that. And, you know, the first time I was elected to the city council, my margin of victory was very much based on the votes of then called the A. Harry Moore housing site on Duncan Avenue.
Right.
They voted 99%. Think about that.
Yeah.
99% for me.
Wow.
And I never forgot that. And from the time I became a councilman, I worked with Gloria Robinson, God rest her soul, who they've now named the site. They took down the high rises, they put mid rises, and they named it after her because that's how special she was as a mentor to me. But we got an after school program put on the site. We got a summer camp put in Lincoln Park, which now 20-something years later is still there. We put a playground in the park because there was only a playground by West Side Avenue. And Gloria would always ask, why do the kids have to walk all the way to West Side? And so we took care of those things. But
nice.
I've always felt that way. And when I hear a young man talk like that, it just makes me feel good.
Yeah,
because, you know, we run a program we call Project Impact.
Right.
Increasing minority participation, access to construction trades.
Got it.
And the first year I did that, there was a gentleman named Willie Williams. And when he started the program, he was skeptical of it. Right? You got this middle-aged white guy telling you he's going to get minorities and women into the construction trades.
Yeah.
But after he got into the plumbers union, I saw him on Christmas Day, and he was a tough guy, right? He wasn't like an emotional kind of guy. But he stopped his car and he got out and he gave me a hug. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Willie, what's going on here? And he brought me to meet his two sons. In fact, one of his sons, I believe, wound up going to academic or McNair High School.
Okay.
He's a great dad. But he said to me, you know, this year I was able to get a lot of presents for my sons, and I really felt like a father.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. Like, when you can help change a person's life,
that's deep.
That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Like that makes me feel good.
That's
I don't need pats on the back, but I love when I meet somebody years later who's gone great in life and done great things. And most of them are good people because they pay it forward.
That's what's
I
up.
see them affecting other people's lives, and I think that's what it's all about.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Yeah, I was really shocked when I heard him speak of you like that. It was really a good feeling to hear that when he broke down, you know, the character of a person, not the skin color. I was like, wow. You know what I mean?
And my grandson goes to Soaring Heights, so I have a special. We can not only walk here; it's very close to where your studio is.
No doubt.
But I work very closely with the school. They're going to purchase the building they're in and do some work on it. But they really connect and they look out for each and every one of the students they have in that school. So.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So shout out to the young brother, man. That was great.
Gotta make sure we register him. He's 19.
Yeah. I feel you. Well, he asked me for your number actually, and I said, I'll give it to you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Let's see. The next question is going to be, how do you plan to address concerns about the crime and gun violence in certain neighborhoods?
So there's two things we need to do, right? And I think addressing it, law enforcement is only a component of it, and creating opportunities for young people is an equal component of it. We all saw the tragedy in Newark that occurred with that officer, right? That young man didn't start out in life looking to do that. But what alternatives were there, right? Like right now, streets and gangs are the only alternative a lot of our young people have. When I was young, we had youth centers. So I want to have a youth center, at least one youth center in each ward in Jersey City. I want to reopen schools up in the afternoon. I want to financially support groups like Black Law Enforcement Serving Community. They're in 41 school. And I want them to be able to serve 120 kids, not just 20 or 25 kids. That's the first part of it, right? The second part of it is, look, when the laws are laws, you have to enforce them. You need to get guns out of people's hands, especially out of young people's hands.
Facts.
There's no reason for young people to have guns. Sadly, some of them feel they need guns just to defend themselves. So you have to have a holistic approach. It's a problem that you need to have a holistic approach to. And the other part of it is, in reality, we have a mental health crisis. We don't want to make believe. We can say we don't have it, but post-COVID, post-locking people in, taking away socializing with one another, we've got a mental health, and we need to do more about it. And I'm working with the Anti-Violence Coalition with Pam Johnson. I'm working with Alliance, which is a qualified federal health center, and with the Jersey City Housing Authority to put a mental health de-escalation center on Oak Street off of MLK.
Nice.
What we're trying to do now is come up with the dollars to renovate the building. And I was on a call today with someone who's going to try to help us figure out how to identify some of the dollars. I'd like to get some county dollars into that. But we got to get that done. And because that's right now, if somebody gets caught on a mental health issue, they get dragged to the jail. The last place a person with a mental health issue needs to be is probably a jail, right? Just going to make the problem worse. So you got to have a holistic approach to it. You have to enforce the laws. You need to get guns off of the street, but you need to offer alternatives, especially for young people. Give them something else to go. Give them a place where they can have mentors. Mentorship means so much. Being a mentor to someone, like I'd love to get more police officers, firefighters, correctional officers, sheriff officers, just mentor. Pick a kid in our community, just be a mentor. That changes the world. Because no one grows up wanting to be a criminal.
I believe
their life path is shaped by things that happen to them. And many of them just have rough lives at home. Single parents that have their own problems. If you have somebody who doesn't love themselves, they can't love anyone else.
Facts.
So I think that we need to take a holistic approach to dealing with issues like that.
I believe that. Great answer. Speaking of that, man, it's like I can remember times where there were situations that I remember, came to my head when you're talking about it, and I kind of like did a little research on how they have the team that comes out when a situation happens for a mental person. There's not that many I'm hearing.
No.
I'm looking and I'm saying there's not that many units that come out. So if there's 12 situations going on in the same time, they can't even handle that.
I don't think they can handle 3. Remember, they just created the ride-along program recently, where they meet together, where they have somebody from say the medical center or professional in mental health meet when the officers go there, right? I mean, we have the tragedy with Andrew Washington. And I was on a call with a group
that's what I was thinking about.
We're working on a lot of different programs for that. That de-escalation center is just one of them. Like creating a 1-800 number for people to call. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be a family member, a friend, some number to call, some number to get information, tie individuals into program. And on the county level, I'm working to get a mental health court.
Nice.
Right now, I have people who get arrested the 3rd time for shoplifting, and they know they have a mental health problem, but they make them spend, I think, 180 days or 90 days in jail. All that does is set that individual so far back, because the director of the correctional center says straight up, we don't have the proper programming here for individuals that have mental health problems.
Wow. Deep. What's going on? Thank y'all for chiming in. I appreciate it. Those who are here, do me the favor, go on and like the page. If you like what you're hearing, please like the page. Share it with someone else. I appreciate it. I only see 2 shares. We need to get at least 2 more shares. I appreciate it if you can do that. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to give you about maybe a minute to go ahead and do that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have a few more questions for Bill O'Day, okay? So y'all go ahead and do that real quick. Thank you. Welcome to D.A.P. D.A.P. Much love and respect. Yeah. All right, so thank you for those who actually followed the instructions as far as liking the page and sharing. All right, let me see if you shared. Okay, that one person that did that, I appreciate that. I don't know who you were, but I thank you for that. Much love. Kirk Edie, what's good with you? I see you in here. Much love and respect. Thank you for chiming in. Much love. Who else is in here? Okay, I see you guys. I see all of you guys. Yeah, let's see. Who is that? David Brown, what's going on? Shanita Faint, peace. April, peace and blessing. Thank you. Like the page, share it, please. Musa, peace and blessings. Much love and respect. Ola, much love. Oliver, peace and blessings. Thank you guys for chiming in. Wendell. All right, next question is going to be Mr. Bill O'Day. What will you do to improve the schools and ensure all children receive a quality education?
Well, the first thing we have to do is correct the funding formula on a state level that has been screwing our kids for several years. So I've been very vocal about this and even shown some simple formulas that show cities with the same number of children eligible for free school lunch.
Right.
I think that's a fair,
right.
Not how many students you have, but students that are qualified for free school lunch. So that's an income guideline. So take Patterson and Jersey City. Approximately the same. I think Jersey City has maybe 4 or 5% more. Patterson gets $583 million. We get, I think, $148 million. Just think about that. They get 4 times as much money as we do. So if we correct that formula, Jersey City should get somewhere between $200 to $250 million more.
Right.
More money means you can improve programs. So that's number one. And we all should come together, rich, poor, middle class, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, all of us just need to get that formula changed. And look, some of our legislators have been weak. Other legislators would never, ever, ever have allowed that to happen. And the fight between the mayor and the school board for the past so many years has just made that easier for the state to get away with. So that's number one.
Right.
The second thing to do is that bring good teachers everywhere. Like last year, people came to me and said, all the good teachers are leaving Southside schools, right, going to North End schools. Right. You just got to stop that. Just don't let people transfer for the sake of transferring.
Right.
So encouraging them to stay in the schools, bringing in additional programs, especially for like reading. You know, we started a program, it came out of students from the Ali Institute. They had a summer and they said, if you can't read at a certain grade level by a certain age, right, there's a 5,000% greater chance you go to jail.
Facts.
So now we have a program in the County Correctional Center to help inmates read, learn how to read.
Nice.
So hopefully to reduce the repetitivism. So bringing back reading, basic reading and math programs and exacerbating them, as well as after school programs. We don't have anywhere near enough after school programs. And we also need to improve the quality of education by having more active PTAs, getting the PTAs more active in our schools, more active in our programs. Look, my grandson's in the 6th grade. I have a tutor for him.
Okay.
I'm lucky that I could afford a tutor. How many parents can't afford a tutor? But we should not deny anyone the ability to have their son or daughter lack by not being able to have a tutor, and the after-school programs that they have to pay for. No one should be denied it because they can't afford to pay for it. True. That's something that we need to make sure that we have in all of our schools.
True. Much love and respect.
And you know what else we need? We need free summer camps.
Free summer camps.
Like when I was young, we had them.
I remember that.
A few years ago, we had them.
Right.
Now there's one camp in Jersey City. You have to pay for it.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
There's only one?
There's one city summer camp.
Got it.
Just in Lincoln Park alone, I have tennis, basketball, soccer, and I'm adding volleyball this year.
Nice.
All free.
That's
all free. And we have similar programs. We don't have soccer because Mercer Park's not big enough, but we have similar programs in Mercer Park too.
Okay.
The city only has one camp. You have to pay for it. They say they have two, but if you go to Cave and Point, they put you on a bus and they drive you up to Persian Field.
And what are you guys doing to promote that? Because a lot of times we get information in the city, but it don't get to certain wards for some reason. The information.
Well, for the Lincoln Park and the other county camps, we promote them everywhere.
Okay.
In fact, this Thursday I've got an event where they're distributing ice cream, and we're going to be giving applications to the kids right there, and we go directly to the schools.
Nice.
All the schools, all over the city.
That's what's up. All right. Let's see. Let's go to social services and quality life. What steps you'll take to address homelessness and provide support? You know, you spoke about the mental illness help. You know, I mean, what do you?
So again, what I'll do is based off what I've done.
Got it.
What differentiates me from all the other candidates. So a number of years ago, Mayor Fulop started a warming center. It was in Pershing Field. You know how long it lasted?
How long?
Less than 1 month. But they proved the need for it.
Got it.
And there's a gentleman named Riaz Waheed. He's a homeless advocate. He's an amazing man. He cares. He's at Feeding in Journal Square all the time.
Nice.
He came to me and said, we need a place because there are over 100 individuals a day going there. Right. So we started, and I worked with the county administrator, Abe Anton, to start what we call a warming center in Kearney.
Nice.
And we're able to transport individuals there, but it's more than a warming center. It's got health services. It's got mental health services. We take individuals that go there and get them signed up for food stamps. We help individuals there that get an ability to get temporary rental assistance and get placed in housing. So it's not just a place to go, it's a place that addresses it. Nice. And now adding to that, we are in the process of letting Alliance acquire a property in Jersey City where they're going to convert approximately 80 SROs into 40 to 45, I guess you'd call them small units, very small units. And that facility is going to have not only mental health services, addiction services. Because a lot of times, right, mental health and addiction tie in, right? People are self-medicating. People with mental health issues are simply self-medicating.
Facts.
So what I'm going to do is get the city to help support that facility to make sure that facility gets completed and that facility gets done. Because that's going to transition individuals from mental health to, permanent housing and to jobs and things like that.
Yeah, great analogy. Great perspective, great vision. So how do you plan to improve the city parks? How? I know you spoke about the grounds and the streets and all that stuff. Overall, the quality of life for the residents. How are you planning to improve city parks and recreation?
So city parks, go to Lincoln Park. That's a county park.
Right.
And then go to a city park. County park that I'm oversee, chairman of that committee. I walk it, I look at it. People tell me when there's a problem in it, including just garbage cans being overfilled on a Monday morning. I call up and complain about it. We've got tennis courts, we've got volleyball, we got pickleball. First place with pickleball courts in the city because I saw the need of it that we did. We've got baseball, little league fields, everything there. We're fixing the running track this year. So I'm going to take that same approach to every city park.
Nice.
And I've been going to city parks. There are some city parks that look great. There's a lot of them that look like crap. Talked about one on Old Bergen. There's one on Virginia between MLK and Bergen. You wouldn't even know it was a park.
Wow.
It's just an open lot. Yeah. There are places that have on Terrace Avenue, even in the Heights. There's no more rims for the basketball courts. It's just like a desert. There's nowhere to. So park by park, you got to take an inventory of what's wrong with them, and then you need to look money. There's no other
Takes
answer.
money.
It's what you
Definitely
have
takes money.
capital budgets for. And you know, if the city's bond rating isn't as high as it should be, then we need to find alternative bonding sources from
Right.
either the county improvement authority or even for some state entity to make sure that that work gets done, because you got to do that. Then the other thing is we have to look as to how we reprogram and better use the facilities we have. So Caven Point is in desperate need of having their
Caven
field
Point.
the field returfed, right? So the city did a budget scam, sold it to the Board of Ed,
Wow.
right? Bonded for that. So it's a scam. We paid for it. Now the Board of Ed has it. The Board of Ed doesn't have the money to upgrade and repair it, but we have to do that. Like, and I thought that the city failed in not really going to the state during COVID when there were a lot of dollars available to get the dollars to upgrade it. But we've got to upgrade that. Now, in some cases, we can bring corporate sponsors or naming rights to some things that might bring additional dollars into it. But all that needs to be done. And then there's places like Bayside.
Right.
Bayside, they used to have the one of the little leagues or not little leagues, pony leagues, I think, played there.
Okay.
And now they're playing somewhere else.
Wow.
So what are we doing with those fields? They're telling me they hardly ever utilize them. Meanwhile, we got a huge demand for more soccer. So you can take a baseball field, overlay the outfield, and you have a dual purpose for it.
Right.
Simple, doesn't cost that much money. In fact, we're doing that in Lincoln Park with it. You know, I forgot to mention cricket. We did first cricket fields were in Lincoln Park.
Really?
I'm not sure if there's any other cricket fields except the ones that we have in Lincoln Park in Jersey City. So understand the variety of the multi-ethnicity of Jersey City. That there are needs for other kind of programs and sports that we might have. But sports are great. They get kids off the streets. They get kids doing positive activities. You know, we lost Gary Greenberg from the Boys and Girls Club a couple of weeks ago. He was an institution in getting programs and taking kids up at the schools, bringing them to the Boys and Girls Club. In fact, many of the St. Anthony's great basketball teams were kids that he came through the Boys and Girls Club AAU program.
Yeah, both of my sons came through them.
There you go.
Yeah. So, how would you ensure residents have a voice? Because a lot of people don't really have a voice. How do you ensure they have a voice in decision making and policies affecting their neighborhoods?
I think I do that now, right? I mean, I gave my cell phone number out, so they have a voice. So they have a voice for that. But look, when you have to make big decisions, you go to people. Don't do things. First of all, too often government makes a decision, and then they go to you and say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" When you need to get involved as you're making the decisions. Because there's a lot of tough decisions that have to be made. Don't get me wrong. The city has some real financial problems.
Yeah.
And you can just kick it down the curb, which is what they've been doing for a number of years, or you can be honest with people, show what it is, come up with some ideas, and then ask people for their ideas and input to how that they would handle it. And then just have regular town hall meetings.
Right.
You know, the other thing I would do, and one of the past mayors did it, is sit at council meetings.
Right.
The mayor should sit at the council meeting and listen to what people have to say. And I got to be honest with you, one thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is I've gone to a couple of council meetings. They don't interact with the public speakers.
Really?
If you come to a commissioner meeting and you bring up a point, 9 out of 10 times I'll probably interact with you or interact with someone from the county directors to try to look into or address or respond to it. They just sit and listen and listen and listen and listen.
That's it.
Now, when I was a councilman, because they still have 50, 60 speakers. When I was a councilman, we had that many. Our meetings ended at 2, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Now they're out of there by 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Well, they just listen. Okay, next. But if 10 people bring up the same problem, how do you now not direct somebody to address what that problem is and come back to you with a report, written report or verbal report at the next meeting? So simple things like that. Take the council meetings and make sure that people's issues that are brought up there are addressed reactively or proactively better at the meetings.
Right. That's what's up. Yeah, that's a great answer. Great analogy, brother. Yeah. So I have a question. I did a podcast, a show the other day. It was a Monday, early morning. And there was somebody that called in. And their concern was why I have all the certificates, all the education, all the knowledge, and the years of experience, in this construction work. But yet and still, when I go out to apply for a job, I never can get the job in Jersey City. But I have to go to New York. Why do I have to travel 2 or 3 hours to New York to construction sites where I have sites that I see every day, all day when I ride through, and I never can get a job on these sites? What are you going to do to that? And not only that, I'm not only hearing, but I witnessed it myself. Only because I ride by, because this guy by the name of Peter Barnes, who shows you love, he said that on one of his lives, he made me think about the fact there's not too many black people, black African American, even in there's certain wards, there's no black men on these jobs, but are qualified. So I never paid it no mind. Don't get me wrong. I never paid it no mind until one day I'm riding down the street and I happened to see a site. And what came to my head was this guy talking live one day. And I said, and it kind of made me slow down. I slowed down, almost parked to the point where cars were behind me blowing. So I'm looking at the site, looking for this skin color. You know what I mean? And sure enough, I didn't see. But he did say, which I did see, the only people you would see on those sites are flaggers. And sure enough, as the cars were blowing their horn, I happened to look up, and who in front of me? A black guy fanning the flag. What do you say to that?
So the simple answer to that is that you need to enforce things that you claim exist. So there's 2 ways of doing it. One, on bigger projects, you need to set aside for local minority contractors to work on the job. Take Bees Construction, Bernard Shivers. He's a good friend of mine, so I got to be full disclosure.
No doubt.
When he does jobs, you see people. Black and brown people work on those jobs. He helps train them to get them ready to go on the jobs. So giving more work to individuals like that is a no-brainer. So when a developer comes into town, you want them to do, and we did this with the courthouse, the new courthouse, $350 million. Again, I've got to be countywide, not citywide in that regard. That they had to do 10% just MWBE, 10% local MWBE to give them opportunities to do projects like that. Secondly, so do those set aside. In the city, you have to do redevelopment agreements. Bayfront, redevelopment agreement. Other places, redevelopment agreement. You've got to be able to get in those agreements, those set asides, and then you got to enforce them, right? Enforcement's everything. Because if you make things good faith, they find a way to make it no faith. They find a way to skirt the rules. So what we did on the courthouse project is before that person got the contract, they provide us the list of who the vendors are, who the contractors, the subs are, and how much of the job they're going to get. So in my day job, I deal with the Port Authority on this. And it's harder dealing with the Port Authority. They put the good faith language in all the time. And we had to do diversity studies to show that there are inadequacies in certain areas in order to be able to justify doing it. But we've done that. So now it's a matter of making sure that when we do a redevelopment agreement, you're going to develop 100 units of housing. You agree that you're going to provide 20% of that to local minority contractors and vendors, and a percentage to local minority workforce. And then you enforce it. The best way to enforce it at first is to give it to the local minority construction or contractors, because they're going to hire them, because you were incentivized to hire the people that live in the area where they are. So guys like Bees know how to do that. And then secondly, give them projects, even give them projects to do. Some of these projects that the agency does, give that to them. But even within government, you can do that. And even within the union movement, but I'd love to contact that gentleman that you spoke to, because maybe there's an opportunity that I can get him into one of the unions. Like right now we're recruiting for the plumbers, Local 24. There's a math and reading test to take, but we do classes to get ready for that math and reading test. And we'll pay for his initiation fee to take the test. We'll pay for his initiation fee to join the union, and for his fee to take the medical test and the drug test.
Yeah, because he even got discouraged to the point where he got out of the union. Like he had to, you know what I mean? And it was just very discouraging for him because he was doing this for a long time. And yeah, he was very upset about that. And he even tried to apply for an entry level, and he said that they told him that he's overqualified. You know what I mean? That's amazing, man.
And you know, a lot of the problem historically is with like the Section 3 program.
Right.
So when you do a housing authority project, and to the credit of Stephen Sia, who's the director there now,
Right.
he tries to take Section 3 and make it a pathway to at least a permanent job at the housing authority.
Right.
So what Section 3 used to be is you have to take a certain percentage of the job and give it to individuals that are local and generally of lower income,
Right.
which are generally, minorities.
Right.
But what most of these guys do is just build into their contract, not training them or getting them and keeping them. They have them sweeping up the job.
Yeah.
They have them going getting coffee. They got them being flaggers.
Right.
What does that serve?
Right.
It's the old thing. Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day.
Right.
Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Right.
So we need to have more of the teach a man to fish or woman to fish,
Right.
and feed that man or woman for a lifetime. So
Yeah.
that's something I've been passionate about.
Yeah.
I've stood my ground on projects like the courthouse.
Right.
Always been an advocate of that.
Right.
Fighting even against the Port Authority.
Right.
I think I went and spoke at one of their meetings because it wasn't being done at one of the airport projects at Terminal A in the airport.
Yeah, I'm kind of a C student in this, but I'm hearing also that they just basically put you down, get your social, get your phone number, get your information, hire you for a day or 2, a week, 3 weeks, or whatever, and then let you go. But they still have you under a situation where they can continue to get money.
They
You know what
shouldn't
I mean?
be doing that because
Some
they're
people-
supposed to be payroll, certified payroll.
Right.
So if they do that, they may be falsifying payroll documents because the government's supposed to go in, especially if it's an EDA funded project,
Right.
or even we don't really have many pilots right now. But Bayfront will be a big one where you've got to look at the certified payroll, and if they don't have a percentage, who does a good job of it? Newark.
No.
Newark does a very good job.
Yeah.
Because in my day work, we do compliance, or we assist on the developer side, making sure they do compliance. And there, they take your report and they go, "Hey,
Right.
this trade, you have 5%. You're supposed to have 15 or 20."
Right.
And then you sit down and where they're union jobs, you turn around and you sit down with the union and say, "Well, you got to show me you have nobody that fits those qualifications that can work on the job." So a lot of it's just effort. But again, enforcement's enforcement. If you don't seriously take that you're going to enforce the rules or enforce the laws, it doesn't matter what rule. You can write the greatest rule, the greatest law in the world. If you're not committed to enforce it, it doesn't mean anything.
don't mean nothing.
And rent control is one of the biggest examples of
Wow.
that. As is this. The compliance on this just isn't done. But redevelopment agreements give the city great latitude to negotiate those things in the agreements.
Got it. All right, y'all. Y'all heard it from the horse's mouth, Bill O'Day. So I would like for you guys to now, if you would like to, you can always chime in with us. You can always call. The number is on the screen right now, which is 973-433-5666. You can ask Bill O'Day a question. You can make a statement. You can show him some love, or whatever the case may be. Whatever you want to do right now, you can do that. Call in that number right now, and we will answer your call and see what you got to say. Put your question or statement on the table. I'm waiting for your call now. Thank you, man. All right, we back. All right. I see Scott in the building. What's good with you, Scott Gaines? Peace and blessings. Thank you for chiming in. Do me a favor. You can like the page, man, and share the page. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Scott says he hear a lot of good things about Mr. O'Day. Okay. All right. Brown says talk to them. Okay. All right. Oh, the number is there, 973-433-5666. 973, there it is, 433. 5666. Musa said, good life. All right. Shaquetta said, speak on it. All right. Thank you for chiming in. Share the page, like the page. Call in if you like. Please make that phone call if you want to speak to Mr. Bill O'Day right now while we got him here. I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
Girlfriend? Polygamy?
No, sometimes. Like I got a full time. I raised a Hispanic kid from the time he was 4.
Okay.
I dated his mom and fell in love with the kid, I guess.
Wow.
So I raised him from 4 through grammar school, high school.
Okay.
He works for transit now. He's a conductor on the trains.
Nice.
Played ball. I coached a little AAU ball.
Okay.
We won the Hamilton Park League once, which was pretty good. We beat St. Anthony's one game.
Wow.
Which was pretty good.
Nice.
Me and Jeff Dublin. Jeff, and now I have his son is Jamison Perez. He goes to Soaring Heights. He's 11 years old. Yeah. He's kind of not my full-time job. He's one of my top jobs. I take him to school. I bring him home. I make sure he does his homework every day.
No doubt.
So I spend a lot of time on that. It's hard. It's hard having a good relationship when you got a full-time job. You're raising a grandson. And you're running for office. It takes up a lot of time.
It's hard.
It takes a lot. Once in a while, I get to go out there.
And you got to have somebody more like understanding.
Yeah. Look, 90% of women don't understand politics, and I don't blame them.
Right.
I don't even understand it all the time. There's days I don't understand a lot of it. There's days I don't understand a lot of what it is. But
that's what's up. Kirk Eder said, I have a great respect for Bill O'Day. He's very instrumental in getting substance abuse programs inside of Hudson County Correctional Center. No matter what sex, creed, color, or orientation, he fights for you. That's what's up. Thank you for that comment, brother.
Kirk's been a friend. Kirk's been a friend for a long time.
Yeah,
Kirk knows my son. I never formally adopted him, but he's my son if you raise him. Jonathan, because Kirk was at Hudson Catholic when Jonathan was playing basketball there.
Nice. Yeah, Kirk, good dude, man. Thank you for chiming in, Kirk. Share the page, man. I appreciate you, bro. Oliver said, bring guns back program. I think it's gun buy.
Gun buy back program.
Gun buy back programs. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a supporter of that. That has some effect on it. A lot of times it's people that are selling like their antique guns and other guns. It's a good program because what it does is it gets them out of homes that if somebody breaks into the house, they can get their hands on a gun.
Right.
I wish it was more individuals that we'd prioritize to turn the guns in, but they're good. We would certainly do more of those. I've worked with the county prosecutor's office on a couple of buyback programs.
That's what's up. Okay. Well, I'm looking for you guys to call in. If not, we might go ahead and close this one down. But if you want some more answers from Mr. Bill O'Day as far as his visions is concerned and all that good stuff, you can call in or just go ahead and put it on the comment board. If you're scared to call in, go ahead and put it on the comment board.
I might have a lot of text messages too on the cell phone.
Probably so.
When I get off
of course. Yeah, because they actually y'all got the number. Yeah, got the number. Yeah, so that's a blessing, man. All right. So anybody else? Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. If you want to call in, the number right there. Going 4 times. Going 5 times. And we are done with the phone calling. Mr. Bill O'Day, are there any last words you want to say, you want the people to know right now while you have this chance?
I would just say, I love Jersey City.
No doubt.
I mean, I've been here all my life.
Yeah.
I just want to see a good city.
So you was born here?
I was born here.
Where?
I was actually born in Christ Hospital. Everybody was born in Margaret Hague, my age. Yeah. But I was born in Christ Hospital because I lived on Baldwin by the State Highway, right near Dickinson. So they take you to the nearest hospital.
No doubt.
So I was born in Christ Hospital. I lived by Dickinson near the courthouse.
Right.
I used to play football in front of the old courthouse when it was an abandoned building.
Wow.
And the statute of limitations is over, so we used to break into the building. to play hide and seek when it was vacant.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 13, I moved to the West Side.
Okay.
And I've lived from the age of 13 now for a little more than 50 years within 5 blocks of Lincoln Park. That's why I love Lincoln Park.
No doubt.
Because there's so many things there, and it's even during COVID, like it was a place to go.
Yeah.
To just
Chill
get out
get
and
away.
chill and
Yeah.
breathe in, and just kind of share all the craziness that was going on.
Yeah.
So but I love the city. I want it to be good. I'm a 24/7 guy. The other thing is, if I'm successful in becoming the mayor, I'm not going to look to do anything else.
Right.
I don't want to be the governor. I don't want to be a congressman. I don't want to be a senator.
You just want to be the
I
mayor.
just want to be the mayor. People ask me, you should have run. There's other times that I thought about running, and we used to joke around like, the time is now. The time is now. So now we joke it's now or never.
Now or never.
So that's why we're in this, and we're in this to win it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I like the fact that when you pulled up, you came by yourself, man.
I always come by myself.
I was like, oh, he came by himself? Ain't got no backup, no security, no nothing.
I walk in public housing sites. I don't care. I walk on. Last year I walked for the Unity Walk that Pam Johnson does.
Right.
I parked my car in Lincoln Park, walked up to Monticello, walked Monticello all the way back down to the Bethune Center.
Nice.
And people are like, oh, Dave, what are you doing, man? I'm like, please,
Yeah.
I've done this all my life.
That's what's up.
I got a strong faith in God too,
That's
so I
what's
think
up.
that's important.
Yeah, I see a lot of people respect you, man. I'm hearing a lot of things. So I wish you luck in the running, brother.
Appreciate you.
Much love and respect. Thank you for coming up once
My
again.
pleasure, my
Appreciate you.
pleasure.
Thank you. Mr. Bill O'Day, y'all. Much love and respect. Please share the page, like the page. Much love. Thank you once again. Thank you for chiming in. Make sure you tune in Wednesday for the song release for all the songs that some of the local artists are putting out. Come check that out. Much love and respect. Thank you once again. D.A.P.